We are going live. That's right. Something I haven't done in a little while. Let me just change up my chat settings here. I want to make sure that I can see everybody's messaging. We'll uh, we'll let it roll out a little bit here with the music. I'm just playing some soft jazz for now. This is a playlist that popped up on Spotify as usual. That's how I do it. Let me turn this volume down though. Just put it way in the background. Just chatting today. I'm going to be just, I guess, updating on a number of different things I've had going on around the house. I haven't been live in probably a month or more, and it's 4:30 in the afternoon Eastern Standard Time. So, in my area here in Toronto, Canada, I'm hoping that some of my friends are still available or around or browsing or maybe get notifications of my going live so we can have a chat. I never know what people are up to on a Saturday, and I figured why not? I would come in and just do an update and see how everybody's doing. Personally, for me, it's pretty cold today. I went out to the camera shop and I got a couple of things sorted out for my camera. I did get a new camera for the upcoming Montreal Audio Fest shows. So the idea there is that I was gonna buy new lights, which I got. I got a new tripod, new mini tripod there for that light, and then another smaller tripod, small little light there. So those lights are going to help me with some of the photography coming up. They're pretty bright actually. If I turn one of them on here, this is just one of those brands that you can get from like Amazon, and you can see how much brighter the scene gets with this light. So that'll help me take better low light shots in videos, things like that. And then the other light is an accent light. So if I want to shoot that sort of like Star Wars classic red and blue sort of thing, I have them set up so I can use one light as blue and then the other shot as red, and then my tripod I can just move the light around so I can have like that blue red sort of effect on the speaker. So depending on where I'm shooting from, you can get this very sort of like hard contrasty light, and that's basically how I'm gonna try and shoot some new content with the shows. Yeah, it's just a small little small little light there. I've got it positioned on the tripod so I can use that to accent in low lighting. Low lighting in photography is always the hardest, so you always have to bring like extra lights with you. Of course, my phone is compensating for some of that lighting right now. Lewis and Jarno are here. What's going on? Hey, welcome to the live that I'm doing. I haven't done a live in like a number of months, so I wanted to come on and just say hello to my friends. Just ask everybody what's going on. If you have any questions about hi-fi or any of the videos I've done, that's pretty cool. I am slowly getting into the photography gig. So photography wise, I've got my new camera here as well. This is the Canon R8. You can see there, it's the ES R8 with the 35mm lens on it right now. I've got a small tripod sort of for my DJI camera just underneath here, just for demonstration's sake. If I need to put it down, then I just use the tripod and I can just rest it anywhere I need to. However, this is a really good camera. This is allowing me to shoot basically in a pretty good format. Now, it's a little bit closer than I would like for most things. However, it is a macro lens, so it allows me to get some pretty good shots. And I'm practicing with the framing, using some of the lights. Obviously, I need to get the right focus, touch controls. Not bad. So I've been practicing with this, trying to prepare for other gigs. I've got a number of shots on here from earlier. So if I can just scroll through some of these shots from earlier today. Like I did some pretty cool sort of like macro shots. So like there you go, like angled downwards, some really close shots of the tweeter because it's a macro lens. So I've been practicing a little bit. I don't know if any of these images are interesting to anybody. Yeah, so there's a profile shot. Just trying a bunch of different stuff with the new camera. So this is going to definitely come in handy with the next couple of shows. I've been meaning to get to this kind of thing and upgrade from my camera, so now I can adjust and play with the camera in a more official way. So that's going to come in handy when I get over to Montreal. I just want to introduce that to some of my friends. So that's the Canon R8 with the 35. I have a number of other lenses, and I need to be careful about spending too much. I mean, the gear doesn't make you better, it just helps you achieve the kind of creative goals that you have. So I don't want to say that getting new gear is always the best. The same thing with audio. Hello to Trones and Mirage Bryston. Hello, welcome. Glad you guys are here. Cheers to you. Thanks you for being here. Yeah, and I got a number of these little lights here set up for my camera and my photography. Membuna, hi. Those Buckeyes sounding, yes, they are pretty awesome. Let me get up and close and personal to the Buckeyes, and thank you for acknowledging the fact that I have them. I do appreciate the following, subscribing, any of the supportive sort of gestures that people have. And let's get in here so you can see the lights are on the inside. So the one light in the back, that's on the capacitor board. This green light here is on the power supply board. So the way that it's configured is the power supply board is in the front. There's a cap board right here, and then the amplifier module, which is actually pretty small, is just tucked in here. Now if I had a light, I could shine the light inside the chassis. You could see exactly what's going on. And oh, look at this, I have lights. The thing is, I think this one's still on the red light right now, so I'll have to change it into a different color. Let's see if I can change the mode. No, there we go. So we get inside, see that there's the amp board there. That's the Purify module amp board. Then there's a capacitor board that's in here, which you can't really see. Can't really see the capacitor board. And then the power supply is on the front here. Yeah, the cap board is underneath. You can see, just barely see the top of the caps there, but it's hard to film this way. Most interesting live video in all of hi-fi. Look inside my amp, said the spider to the fly. So yeah, that's the Purify board there, and there's not a whole lot going on, but Dylan at Buckeye Audios has been pretty awesome. He designs them to be as amazing as possible without overcharging customers, because there's a lot of potential, a lot of power and features and all that kind of thing in a lot of amps, but to what end? I mean, you're spending so much money for things like the chassis or the heavy materials in a power supply, the box, the foam, the marketing, their ability to fly all over the world and present at shows like Bristol Audio or Bristol Hi-Fi show right now in the UK and the Florida Audio Expo in Florida. I'm not saying that that's a bad thing. That's how these companies want to present, right? So it's just part of the equation. When you're buying amps and you're buying gear, you're also buying the ability for them to do these kinds of things around the world. Now, SVS platform, it's a direct to sales. They do an amazing job with customer service, whatever you think of their products. Arundel Sound, same thing. You don't see them at any shows, where SVS is actually presenting at a lot of shows. Arundel Sound has never been presented at a show as far as I'm concerned, or as far as I know. So it's hard to say what you're paying for. You're getting, I think, the engineering and performance and sound and build quality, you're getting a lot more here for the price, because you're not overspending on their ability to fly around the world and present it. So I think the same thing is going on with, the Buckeye amps, for instance. It's, if you bought the components yourself in a DIY fashion and put your own labor in, you could get them cheaper. However, someone who's got hours and hours and hours of experience and backed up by a company policy ensures you that he will do the repairs and fixes and takes the responsibility, where if you do it yourself, you're on the hook on your own. So you're saving money, but potentially you should put all that extra money into a just in case fund. At least that's the way that I see it. So Neil K comes in and says, I think the Rotel is the weakest link in your great setup. And I'm going to agree with you. Not that I don't like Rotel. However, this unit, for whatever reason, it has a very unique sort of noise floor issue. Now, I don't know what it's based on. I don't know whether the unit has something wrong or the way that it's just designed in general. I know that a lot of systems have like a general hissing or a noise floor in some systems, or maybe it's due to my apartment. I have no idea. I don't have it power conditioned. However, the Buckeyes are on the same power from the wall over there on Amazon power bars. This one is running through a surge protector that I have tucked in over here. I can't see why it would make that sound. I plugged it in my kitchen, the same thing. So Mbuna says, you turned me on to Buckeye. Thanks, man. Big thanks. Well, be sure to tell Dylan that, by my channel name, let him know that if you purchase anything that I'm the reason. I'm sure he'll get a big kick out of that. And then I'm sure that support will go around. We're all just a community here. And the reason why I do these videos is to share personal, real world, sort of no bullshit conversation about stuff that works. And to be honest, I didn't really have a problem with the Orchard Audio amps. Really, I mean, Leo and his designs and the GaNFET technology captured my attention like it has many people, and I wanted to hear what it's all about. However, Purify is one of those kinds of things that got my attention a while ago, as you will see, and bear with me as I wander through to my other audio system. Obviously, Purify Audio got my attention, and I ended up with the Radiant acoustic speakers. And I've got the Bucard Audios back there too, which you can't see right now, but they also have the Purify driver. Just using the lights for my table. So, I mean, I went pretty big in terms of Purify, and that's the reason why I decided to make that change from the Orchard Audio to the Buckeyes, because I have these speakers and because Purify has been one of those curiosities to me for a long time. So I wanted to bring them into the system. And yes, you just saw my living room and my bedroom, and there's no bed anywhere. So that's proof I'm a vampire. I don't sleep. I'm just kidding. Neil K says, I had the flagship Rotel a couple years back. I tried some preamps in 3-4K region. It really made a huge difference. So which was the preamp that you had? Because mine, as far as I know, outside of the 6000 Diamond series and the Michi, this is the top preamp that they have available, 1590 Mark II. And I think that the only thing that's going on, from what I can tell, is like when the unit powers on, there's a relay that clicks in when it's engaging the DAC, at least, because I stream and I use, RC 1580. Okay, so I have the 1590 Mark II, which is the version that came out after the AKM fire and that kind of thing. So circa 2010. So it's a bit older than this one. So this one's an even newer one. And to be honest, I'm thinking of upgrading to the Michi, because the Michi is beautiful. It suits my aesthetic in here. I really wish that they would have like a white version, a limited edition with like red accents. I think that would be super dope. The speakers are a satin white finish. Just kind of bumped into my candle over here, and I blew it out a while ago, so the wax is not spilling out. So let me deal with that. All right. So I'm curious about preamps. I know some reps that work with some brands, Raise your hand if you'd like to hear more about Advanced Paris. I mean, I know they're a new brand on the page for North America. So if you'd like to know more about them, let me know, and then I can try to ask some reps about some Advanced Paris stuff. So Mbuna says the black room and the white room. Yeah, exactly. So it's like light and dark. That's the way I have it set up. This room has a pretty significant story, I can tell, but this is this is for home theater. I mean, it's essentially set up the same way. Actually, if I can show off a little bit, if you guys don't mind, I improved the lighting in here. I put those light bars on the ceiling so I can actually light this space up for doing podcasting, gaming, hosting people. Well, there's really only one chair, so nobody else is coming over, but those lights will definitely improve for when I'm doing any podcasting or hosting here on the in the desk. See the microphone, and it's essentially a 2-channel system powered from the SMSL, which I'm going to upgrade eventually. And then the Bucard A10s are powered, so if I get a preamp with XLR outs, then I can do powered bookshelves here. Then the Denon A10H powers the home theater all the way around all of my speakers here. Sorry about the movement, but anyways, that's this space, a little bit updated. But yeah, so dark room for theater use, and then light room for, this is actually a sort of like a memorial to my mom who passed away a number of years ago. In the year or two leading up to that event, I wanted to make this room white because white was her favorite color, and her whole room and house is all done in white. So this is really a tribute space to my mom, and I think she would get a really big kick out of a pink chair. So really that's the reason why I have this room this way, is to honor my mom's memory and to come in here and always listen to music with her, and I can remember all of those good things instead of being sad, you know what I mean? Yeah, that's a little bit of history right there. I don't know if you guys know that or not, but Neil says, I moved to the Hagel P20 now. That's a good preamp. Exegol Comet DAC, that's cool. Well, Hagel did come out with a new DAC. I'm sure it's really expensive, but you can pair that with the preamp, that's for sure. It says volume control is better than preamps unless you go way up in price. Well, that's fair. And I can see that being very important. Volume control, accuracy across the game. I mean, that's what we're all into, right? That's the reason why we get into this. We have lots of things to choose from, and the way that we want our system to work. That's, you know, the beauty of having like hundreds of options and people able to showcase these things that work for us. Say if you're unable to go and visit a show like Bristol Hi-Fi show that's going on, or Florida Expo that's going on, if you're unable to visit these places, some of the what you call influencers, you see my fingers there in the distance, that's the reason why I have the mirror, influencers are online to showcase the things that we cannot reach. Hopefully I'm doing a good job, but I just saw that Jay Ziagi reviewed the Hagel DAC and Zero Fidelity on his podcast. So if we trust them and we appreciate what they say about the content, then we can go based on that. But it's, you know, it really is a matter of like mix and match. I mean, no, I'm going to say this in a funny way, like, no two salads are the same or no two steaks are the same. We all like a certain thing a certain way, you know, rare, medium rare, certain spices, flip this way, seared, blah, blah, blah. Just like food, our sense of hearing is no different from our sense of taste. And it isn't right for anyone and all of us to say what somebody else is going to eat or enjoy, right? Like that's the way it is. It's like a recipe towards our favorite meal, and it's only serving us. And I love the fact that we have so many options out there in the world where we can just pick and choose. And Buna says, looks like Led Zeppelin on stage early court, aka 1975. Well, you beat me by 5 years, my friend. I wouldn't know. However, I do have their albums. I got the 25th anniversary Dark Side of the Moon I think it's dark. Is it 25th or 50th? I could probably 50th, right? I have the disc somewhere over there, but anyways, any other questions about the system, the channel, any of the gear? I don't necessarily need to show my face, and I prefer not. It's not like it's important. I'm here for the community and the gear and answering any questions that I can. And yeah, the system isn't complete as of yet. Obviously, I'm still playing around a little bit with the Buckeye amps. I think the Arundel Towers at 92 dB sensitivity is a really good pairing for an amp that can do micro detail very, very well when the distortion levels are very low. A 4 ohm speaker with a high current amplifier means that the bass response is going to be pretty consistent across the board. I've had no issues with them at all. The only thing that I can say that I need to talk to Dylan about is the soft start on the amplifiers. For some reason, shortly after the relays click in, there's like this very, very tiny like pop in the speakers. Now, I don't know if I can demonstrate that on camera. If I get enough people saying, yes, show me, then I'll do it. Also didn't see anybody raise their hand for Advanced Paris, so I guess nobody cares. I mean, if people are tuning in on their TV, then you can't really chat through the TV. And it's hard for us to know what's going on in the world if we don't get feedback. So feedback on the channel is very, very appreciated. That's the way we know what to do. Otherwise, I'm just going to talk about whatever I like. And it's not really a matter of serving the community if I don't know really what people are looking for. There's a lot of information already on my channel. If you want to watch anything else by the playlist or by the titles, you can check that out and then come back and ask questions. That's appreciated. Otherwise, I'm here and I'm open, and I like to support the community in every which way I can. I wish I was in Florida right now. However, I am not. I am in the snowy north of Canada. You can see I've got snow outside there. Move the camera around my ground floor apartment. So I've got snow everywhere. I'm not in Florida. So you can hear the gross sound of my window well. I have a unique style. If you guys are new, if anybody's new to the video and you're just tuning in, yeah, I don't do things like everybody else. I like to have fun just like everybody else likes to have fun, but it's a bit different around here. And I'm going live from my phone, so it's not quite like sitting at my desk, which I probably should go live from the desk because I can showcase a lot of the videos that are going on from Florida. Audiophile Junkie's got a video out. There's a number of other dudes that are, I can't remember his name, but I shared it to my community page already this morning. It's got an hour-long video of some of the floors at Florida. I saw that they have car audio manufacturers included now. Xpona is going to have some car audio stuff. The IASCA, like International Sound, I can't remember what it stands for, but anyways, they're going to be hosting an event at the Xpona audio show. So like that's super cool that we're getting car audio mixed into what we call hi-fi audio. I think that it all has a place at the table. Headphones, headphone amps, studio monitors, custom integration, car audio, like it all has to do with music, right? So if we're all music central or movie central and entertainment central, then everybody in the audio field has a seat at the table for audio because it's all part of the same goal at the end of the day, is to bring consumers and customers and music lovers and event lovers the experience that they're looking for. So anything that can be made or implemented into that sort of path deserves a chance to be showcased. I think it's actually a really cool idea. I'm just wondering how it's going to work out, where if you get very strong bass demo trucks out in the parking lot, is that going to interfere with the audio show hi-fi side inside the hotel? Like that might be a little crazy. Mirage Bryston says it was Jim the Stargazer, the 1 hour video. Yes, so that's the name of the channel. Go check him out. Thank you for checking the name for me, Mirage. That's awesome. I know that's not your name, but we're going by stage names in here. It's all good. Yeah, I don't have a whole lot else to talk about, so if anybody else wants to know something, let me know. Definitely hit me up in comments. I'm around Email address is attached to the profile for anything like consultation or more in-depth conversation. If you want to know something specific about a product, maybe I have, or I've listened to, or I've been to shows, any of the past videos, anything like that, I'm around for all of that. That's cool. Yeah, stage names for sure. That's fair enough. You know how the world is these days. We never really know what's going to happen out there, and it's good to just have a bit of privacy before we all lose the sense of privacy. Who knows what happens with technology these days? If people could fly drones up to your apartment window and over your fence, that's, we're living in a whole other world right now. And I wish to God people advance the idea of honor and respect along with the uses of technology, because if we live with real, true, and genuine honor and respect, we wouldn't have to worry about really hardly anything else. Those two things would see me fine. I would trade in a lot of technology for honor and respect. Oh, any day, to be honest. It would be a treat to get back to a state of affairs where those two things are in abundance rather than a rarity these days. So, anyways, I'm gonna get out of here. I will leave you with that thought. I do appreciate you being around, watching this very sort of short video. I did just record a video for Release Radar, which is essentially. Let me back this camera up. Hopefully, my voice is not too loud getting close to the camera. So I use my iPad here to browse through music, and every week, I know it's Spotify, whatever. They give me this playlist called Release Radar, which is actually very blurry on this lens, but this is like 30 songs or so of stuff that's new, and I browse through it, and I used the two microphones from the DJI to record the sound this time, so it should be pretty cool. Hopefully it works. I got to edit and post that video. And I did a weekly discovery list just before that. So if you want to check that out, let me know how those songs sound. Mostly jazz, which is pretty cool. That's a lot of what I listen to these days. But it's more or less to showcase the system against other videos, other speakers. You can't really tell the sound character between amplifiers on YouTube, but hey, I'm doing my best. We're all out here trying to do our best. So, anyways, thanks for being here. I appreciate Mbuna talking about Buckeye amplifiers. I appreciate that, and I'm sure Dylan at Buckeye would appreciate that too. Mirage Bryson, it's good to see you. Trones was here earlier, and Neil K talking about the Rotel preamp. And I agree, I'm going to have to see what I can do about preamps. So if I can reach out to brands or even friends of mine to try and sample some preamp ideas, I thought about doing something like the Eversolo DMP A10, which is a streamer preamp, and I don't know about that. I've been advised against using a streamer as a preamp because of certain things. I can see some pluses and minuses there, so I may keep them separated. Shout out to the 90s song that associates those lyrics. Yeah, we'll see what happens. But anyways, that's enough for me. Shout out to the Mirror. I will talk to everybody in the next video. Thanks for being here for this live video. I do appreciate it. New content will be coming out more vibrantly, if that's a word. March will bring Montreal Audio Fest. I will be there towards the end of the month. Unfortunately, I missed Florida this year. And if everything goes well in Montreal and I get some funding or some contracts or some work for photography, then I will be headed to Expona so I can bring more content from both Montreal and Expona. That way the channel will have some new stuff to kind of watch and listen to. Photography is my main gig. I don't have to talk and ramble, and you can't really debate measurements and cable specs and prices in a photo. A photo is just a photo. And I don't really want to get into the debate because I'm not taking sides. I'm not saying that this brand or that brand's better than another brand and cables don't matter or do matter or measurements are bullshit or they're not bullshit or subjective versus objective. I'm not getting into it. I don't care. It is what it is. Whatever camp you're in, good for you. Sell your Girl Guide cookies and, rob the milkman, whatever happens. None of that made any sense. I'm just rambling. But that's a sign I should get going. So have a great Saturday. Have a great Sunday, depending on where you are in the world. I'm sure it's after midnight somewhere. So I'll talk to everybody in the next video. Maybe live at some point after Florida, maybe next weekend. Maybe. I'll see you in the comments. Have a great day, everybody. Take care of yourselves.